Hey everybody, it's Ryan. Welcome back to How Farms Work. So today we are going to be hopping in the 8235R and we're going to be taking the Earthmaster 3000 VT up to one of my cornfields, and we are going to be trying to work down, incorporate, really just slice and knock down the corn stalks for the fall. Now, since we had the new combine, we were able to finish tillage a lot sooner because we got done about a week earlier than we have in recent years. And that's given us more time to do fall tillage, and they're still calling for good warm weather in the forecast. So if we had more tillage or anything else that we need to do yet, we still have plenty of time. So I probably will be doing more stuff before the snow flies. Like I want to get some gravel in the barnyard out of my place, as well as doing some more brush mowing. But that's for another video. So the other day I went through and hooked the 82 up to the VT. This is going to be the only field that we were using the VT for this year. Now, this is something that I actually like to do, preferably over doing hard tillage like chisel plowing. I like to go just into the fall and knock down the corn stalks and then till into them, or plant beans into them the following year. And I don't like to do much, if any, tillage regarding the beans at all. Typically, I just like to do a no-till right into those and call that good. So it seemed to work pretty good in the past. Now, with this VT, we've used it a lot like a disc in recent years. So the discs on them are actually, they're not really fully wore down yet to where they are calling for a replacement. But we just replaced one of the discs on the end, and I don't know if I can show you. I'm kind of short with it stacked up, but I'm gonna climb up here, show you guys the difference between one of the blades that is brand spanking new versus the blades that have been used quite a bit. Like I said, we've used this a lot like a disc in the spring because it's got the rolling basket on the back. It does a really nice job at preparing the seed bed, so we've used it for pretty much all of our acres. And we've been talking about getting a field cultivator for doing seed bed prep in the spring. So once we get one of those, I'll probably consider going through and replacing all the blades and then using it like a true VT, where I'm just using it to incorporate the stalks in the fall. And I think it'll do a lot better job at slicing stuff up. It is getting to the point now where, you know, the blades they're still pretty sharp, but I wouldn't say that they're optimal. The cutting edge has pretty well worn off the old blades. So here's a brand new blade, and the edge here is super sharp. And this isn't a true VT, I would call it, because it has a curvature to the blades. And the reason they did that was to prolong the life of the blades themselves, because what they were finding with true VTs, as I call them, was that farmers weren't seeing a return out of their investment on the straight blade VTs, because they worked pretty good for X amount of acres, but the blades dulled down so fast, eventually they just stopped doing a good job, and it was like having dinner plates out there trying to cut up corn stalks and slice up that residue. So, like I said, you can see this flat edge here, that's the cutting edge. I don't know how well you can see that through the camera. And then here's an older blade, and I can actually put my finger along the edge of this, and that flat edge that you see up here is completely gone on the lower blades. And they're getting down there as far as their usage life, but we got a good couple of years out of them, I'd say, at least. So gives us time to get a field cultivator, and then when the time comes, I'll go through and replace all the blades on this. I did purchase it from Earthmaster Rhino Ag last year, so this is one of those investments that's staying on the farm indefinitely, because we were pleased with how it performed, and I really do like it as a VT. I think it does a pretty good job at cutting down the corn stalks, and from what I've seen as far as like yields in the spring go and getting out there and planting, I think it does a really good job. So we're gonna hop in the 82, fire it up, make sure we've got enough fuel. I think we should, but I might just top it off, and then when I get back, I'll top it off out of my tank because I'll be paying for that fuel. So what do you say we fire this up? In one of my recent videos, I had someone mention that it seemed like I had a lot of music in that video and didn't do a lot of talking, and I just wanted to address that real quick. So I try to change things up and have videos for just about everybody. I like to have videos where I do more talking, and then like to have videos where I do less talking and it's just more music, because in the true spirit of tractor therapy, I do like to throw in a video there every now and then where it's mostly just tractors working in the field and it's not me talking about what we're doing. You know, now that winter's coming around, I am going to be doing a lot more talking because we're going to be doing stuff in the buildings more than out in the field. And this is going to be one of those videos. It's probably 50-50. I did quite a bit of talking at the start there, but I'm going to hose the VT down real quick just because I like to have all the dust off of the equipment when we pull them out for the first time. It is kind of cold, but I don't think it'll freeze over, but I want to get all that dust knocked off so she's nice and pretty for the videos. We just got to the field. Now I need to play around with the depth control to make sure that we are just grazing the surface. I'm really not looking to move any dirt here at all. I'm just trying to chop up the residue so that it can decompose over the next few months before springtime, and makes it a little bit easier to plant our beans in the following spring. So I got the wings spread out. Now it's just kind of time to play around with it a little bit. I'm gonna set it down, see where we're at as far as working it down. I can already tell that it's too low because that just picked the wheels up off the ground, because it's still set for turning dirt like we were this spring. So I'm gonna hop out, crank that depth control up, and hopefully just graze the surface of the soil. Here's that depth control. We are all the way down on C right now. I want to crank it up to probably around B. I put it where I wanted it, and you can see that the depth control isn't even touching the stopper plate. So we're gonna go ahead and crank it up. Almost there. Just did a short pass here. Now, if I'm seeing dirt come up in between those discs, that means that I've got it set lower than I want it to be. So I'm gonna raise up some more yet, and I need to drop the gauge wheels down on the end of the wings. What they do is just keep the wings from digging in on the outside wings. If we get into some real uneven terrain, that'll come in handy. But raise it up and try it again. The optimal speed that we want to be running is between 5 and 7 miles an hour. And it looks like it's doing a pretty good job at sizing up those corn stalks. That's a wrap, folks. Packing up, heading back to the farm now. Time to top it off and see how much fuel we used. Only 23 gallons of fuel. Costed less to do that than it does to fill my truck. Carefully. Carefully. And we're good. I've got precisely 20 seconds before the lights turn off, but that went pretty good. Remember, we were just trying to actually cut up the corn stalks. We weren't trying to turn dirt at all, which is why I had it set so low. But next time we'll be seeing that used is in the spring. So I'm gonna go home, call her a night. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out all of our other videos. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. All How Farms Work. And with that, I'll see you next time.